You ever wonder why a camel has a hump? Well, it's to store fat, because a camel can last weeks in the desert without any food or water at all, just living off its energy storage. Meanwhile, an emperor penguin can travel for hundreds of miles without eating for months. It's true, Mother Nature has created some magnificent creatures with incredible abilities. The thing is, if you take an emperor penguin and put him in the desert, bro's cooked. Same goes for putting a camel in Antarctica. Now on the other hand, if you take an Arab and an Eskimo and have them switch places, they'll find a way to live. I mean, similar dress code, you know? Humans are different from other species. We're more versatile, intelligent, and capable. But why is this the case? How has our species been built in such a way to become the rulers of the world, chilling at the top of the food chain? There was a time when our ancestors were quite stupid. I don't mean Jake Paul stupid, I mean like ape stupid. I guess that's the same thing. But what I mean is there was a time when our brains were not developed, and something changed that made us evolve into intelligent beings. All organisms are a product of their environment. A polar bear evolved white fur to blend into the white environment that it lives in. And it so happens that there was a time in human history where our environment became very unstable. Africa became a place of vast forests to a place of vast plains. The world was changing, but still remained pretty hot. But then around 2.5 million years ago came the Ice Age. Our human ancestors no longer could rely on eating the plants that kept them well fed in the past. So in order to keep on living, they had to start eating meat, kinda like your mother. The thing is, we were tiny compared to other animals out there, so in order to beat these guys, we had to develop tools to hunt. Hunting larger animals also required strategy, meaning that our ape ancestors had to learn to work together and communicate better. All this required a higher level of thinking than what was previously possible, so it makes sense that it's at this point in our evolutionary history that our brains began to skyrocket in size and ability. Now it's pretty obvious that our intelligence separates us from other animals, but we have some physical attributes that distinct us as well, and I guarantee you the last one's gonna surprise you. You ever hear a dog bark? Bro could either be hungry, happy, mad, or excited. If you couldn't see Buddy's mannerisms, it would basically be impossible to tell his emotions. Same with rabbits, geese, and don't get me started with cows. What the fuck is a moo? Now this is just jokes. I meant no disrespect to your mother. Cows are an amazing species that do have a significant level of communication abilities, but it's nowhere near humans. Now our need for higher levels of communication required us to evolve more. In order to develop language, our vocal cords became extremely flexible. They have lots of fine muscles, allowing for a wide range of pitches and tones. Other animals' vocal cords lack the same level of motor control and flexibility. That's why a bird typically sounds like this, but a human can sound like this, or like this. You show this to an alien and they think these were two completely different species. The flexibility in our vocal cords is also how your girlfriend's able to satisfy you and the guy she tells you not to worry about. Speaking of which, we also have a lot of control over our mouths. Notice how you can manipulate your lips to make the p, b, oo, ah, and several other sounds. Meanwhile, all your dog can do is say, bark, bark. Now granted, other animals may be able to produce a variety of sounds, but not at the same level of precision as humans. We have specialized regions in our brain specifically for processing language and the intricate sounds language requires, regions that don't exist in other animals. This is why it's impossible to teach other animals our language. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on Earth and can run up to 70 miles per hour. This godly animal runs faster than my car. Now have him race a well-conditioned human in a marathon, and the human would win. And that's because humans have the best endurance out there. The cheetah might beat the fastest man alive in the 100 meter, but that dude will get tired pretty fast. This all comes down to how we regulate heat. See, humans sweat. When our bodies get hot, the heat leaves in the water that we sweat out, which evaporates off our body. So even if we run for long distances, we don't really overheat that much. The same doesn't go for an animal covered in fur, whose body heat gets stuck inside all those layers. This comes back to what I mentioned earlier about how humans needed to hunt to survive. And the strategy that humans evolved to have was to simply chase animals until they could no longer keep running away. Humans also release endorphins when they run, prompting them to run more. That famous runner's high. Don't do drugs, kids. There are better ways to feel good. The human diet is incredibly diverse, and it all comes back to us being super adaptable. Since people can live in all sorts of environments, our diets tend to vary a lot. In Japan, an island big on fishing, you see a lot of seafood dishes. In India, where the climate allows for the growth of a wide range of spices, you get a lot of rich and spicy foods. Here in America, where there are a ton of factories, you get McDonald's Sprite. Tell me this isn't the peak of culinary design. Give this to one of our ancestors 2 million years ago, and they'd tweak like a crackhead and fucking die. Now, people tend to question what we're naturally supposed to be eating, whether we should be vegetarians or strictly meat eaters or something in between. But our teeth are an indication that we are indeed meant to be both, as we have canines of carnivores and the chewing molars of herbivores. Makes sense, since humans almost went extinct at one point due to limitations in food sources. Therefore, we had to make use of anything available. Ironically, it's our diverse diet that ended up allowing our brains to develop so much. Today, our brains require a lot of energy and nutrients, so we require a more complex diet than other animals out there. That being said, humans do have limitations. A lot of animals can create their own vitamins, but humans require these vitamins from our diet, so we need to look for specific foods that cater to those needs. For example, some animals can create vitamin C naturally, but we need our clementines to have that. But we do create our vitamin D from the sun. So if you couldn't tell already, humans are pretty incredible. While every animal adapts to their environment, humans make our environment adapt to us. And in doing so, we've become the peak of evolution. That being said, it becomes our responsibility to take care of the planet. Just because we're smarter than other animals doesn't mean our lives are more valuable than them. We have to take care of these creatures. After all, we all are family. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!